Let's move on to the next set of technical terms. We'll come across very frequently the primary and collateral securities. So we should have a clear idea about what is primary security and what is collateral security. Primary securities are those securities which are created out of the bank finance. For example, let's say the bank is giving a term loan for purchase of plant and machinery. Now this plant and machinery will become the primary security for the loan. So here the plant and machinery is itself only created out of the finance given by the bank. But sometimes bank will give loan against specific security. That is, the loans are funded against a specific security. Let's say the bank is going to give a loan only against, let's say, land or only against a particular property. In such case, those kind of securities will also become primary securities. So primary security can be classified into two. One, these are all the securities which are created out of the bank finance, or these are all the securities against which the loan is given. Then comes the collateral security. Collateral security is nothing but the additional security. It is basically to give a sense of comfort to the bankers. When the customer defaults, then the bank should go with the recovery process. When they go with the recovery process, first they will make use of the primary securities. And if the primary securities are not going to fetch the enough value to repay the loan, then the bank will go and enforce the collateral securities. So collateral securities are basically additional securities, and when they are enforced, they will get some value so that the entire loan could be recovered. Right? Let's move on. Next comes the personal security of guarantor. See, when the bank gives a loan, they would try to secure the loan through various aspects. One is primary security, the second is collateral security, and the third one, the bank will insist on personal security of a guarantor. This is basically given by a third party, and the guarantee is not like a primary or collateral security where a charge can be created. So in the event of default, the personal security can be enforced only by competent court of law. Move on. Let's understand what is fixed and floating charge. Fixed charge is a charge which is created on a specific asset, okay, whereas floating charge is basically an equitable charge which is created on the assets, that is both the present as well as the future assets. So there is a difference between the fixed and floating charge. Fixed charge is identified with a specified asset. The creator of the charge cannot deal with the asset without the specific consent of the bank in case of the fixed assets or in case of fixed charge. Whereas in case of floating charge, it's only an equitable charge, that is both the present as well as the future. And when this floating charge will become fixed, the floating charge will become fixed when the buyer is not in a position to pay, so that the bank takes up the enforcement. When the bank takes up the enforcement of securities, the floating charge would become a fixed charge. Move on. Let us understand what is margin. See, when a borrower approaches the bank and he makes his request for a loan, the bank will not fund all. The bank will not give loan for the all value or for the entire value. It means the bank would expect the borrower to make a contribution. To give an example, let's say the borrower is approaching a loan for 100 lakhs, and this 100 lakhs is going to be used for purchase of plant and machinery. Here the bank will not give entire 100 lakhs because the bank would expect the borrower also to contribute something. So bank, let's say it is ready to fund 75%. It means the bank would give 75 lakhs. It means the bank would expect the borrower to bring in 25% as his contribution, that is 25 lakhs. So that the bank loan of 75 lakhs plus the borrower's contribution of 25 lakhs, together they can go for purchase of plant and machinery of 100 lakhs. So the portion which the borrower brings in is called as contribution, and technically it is called as margin.